Hey, cotter pins forever.
Cotter pins forever.
Hi,
That's
beautiful sister. How are you today?
unbreakable,
That's right.
unbreakable, useful. So, but it's hanging out with me because
I
it
love
reminds
it.
me of you. So,
I love it.
anyway, yeah, and you got a tattoo on you. Know that's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, How was your
Oh,
Easter?
uh, I worked all day. I tore apart my RV and put it back together. So,
I
anyway.
like that, being productive. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got
I got
recliners in there now instead of a table and benches.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, all good. Yeah, Pam
Very,
and I
very cool.
spent the day when people aren't calling me all day to do that
Right.
kind of stuff. But you know what? I think we've both been so busy. I got something new. I got a new product.
Oh,
So in stock, Boost Oxygen Lavender,
oh,
and it's
nice.
calm. And have you ever used Boost?
Uh-uh. Maybe in Colorado, I
It's
think.
oxygen. It's just oxygen, and you pull this trigger.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice.
Now
That's awesome. That is cool.
I'm calm. Now I'm just so calm.
Nice and calm. Hi,
Yeah.
Dennis. I see you out there. Dennis Dauber's with us early
Awesome.
on.
Awesome. I just asked him to be my friend on Facebook. So
Oh,
Dennis,
he's awesome.
yeah.
It's amazing. And I got to
Yes.
we went to the farm, and when my daughter was a teenager, she always asked me for an emu, and I didn't know what the hell an emu was. I thought it was like a part of the llama family, and I told her no, no, no. So, of course, this kid, she just got an emu, and she got it. It was 2 days old, and by the time we left, it had tripled in size. We were there for 2.5 days, and this thing
Oh,
is like crazy, but it's going to be a 6-foot bird. I
yeah.
was like, oh my goodness, it was crazy, but it's really smart and really cute and really awkwardly weird. It was interesting to watch. So that was like just a zone, like, okay, let's watch this bird play with the bird. It was pretty funny. I put a video up there. It was like, yeah, Easter on the farm, let's do it. So it was good. It's good. And
Wow.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
you've been busy, and it's been
Yeah.
crazy cool.
But
And
she didn't get to take it home, right?
what's that?
She didn't get to take it home.
Oh, it lives with her now. It's in her
Oh,
living room.
really?
She got a
Okay.
baby. Yeah, she's on a farm now. She can do whatever she wants. When she
Oh,
was a
all
teenager, she couldn't bring it home with her. We weren't
right.
having an emu in the house. But
So
again,
that's what you did for Easter.
yeah, I played with my grandson, and he managed to beat me and Don both at baseball because he's quite good. He's starting soccer, and yeah, and we got to play with the puppies and the horse and the emu and and all the bunny rabbits hopping around, and it was like, sounds like, you see that, a rabbit, and I'm like, don't anybody get any ideas? I'm barbecuing chicken here, nothing else. That's how it goes. So it was good. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
nice to get a break just for a minute.
One of
So
my new friends from Fault Line Customs out in Massachusetts
yeah.
ended up coming, in a fluke thing, was coming to Wisconsin, and he ended up stopping by our place, and we had just this wonderful evening. Like I ended up finally like leaking out and going to bed, but those Scott and Tony stayed up till 3 o'clock in the
Oh, I love
morning.
it. Those are
Yeah,
the best
they were
ones
having so
too.
much fun. Yeah,
The
it was
impromptu just show up.
Yeah, for
That's
sure. Like
cool.
so,
Super cool.
really, really cool guy. His name is Scott, and there's two guys there. Jason Souza. He's Corey. This
Yeah.
is his brother, Jason.
Okay.
He's the main mechanic at Fault Line Customs,
Oh, neato.
and he's more into the old bikes. And they want to donate. His big thing that he's like really known for is he's got these foot pegs that he hand tools, and it's got his own little signature on
I
there.
love it. Let's have them.
And he wondered if we had foot pegs.
Not yet. Let's have them. I'm ready. I'm
So
ready.
yep. So
Yeah,
it's
I
so
did.
cool.
I did send Aaron a little video of some unboxing, because now we're off to a start, and it's going to be exciting.
Yes, I want to see this. So we got the frame. That's okay. You can go. You can go for it. We got the frame.
Go, Aaron.
I hope you had a great Easter weekend. I know we sure did. The bunny came early last week and brought us this beautiful Paco 4-speed frame. I love it. It's got this gorgeous OEM style neck and this super sexy wishbone down tubes. And then also so fabulous, they put my tank and my dash mounts in all the right places, like they know what they're doing, because they do. We have this gorgeous seating section. It's It's going to be fabulous. I even love their welds. They take such great pride in good craftsmanship. And then, well, in here, it's still a mystery. Follow along to roadguardians.org to find out what's in the box. Oh, we got a box over here. Paco also sent all the stuff we need to keep this thing going. All right. So we have our gorgeous chrome neck cups. Gotta love it. And then we also have our swing arm shaft, seals and bearings, absolute necessity, along with our beautiful, look at that, 4-speed transmission plate. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Shiny. Love it. This is all going to be a great foundation for our S&S 124 engine. We're so grateful to Paco and everyone else who is participating. You can find all the information on roadguardians.org. And if you'd like to know how you can help out, check out there. Click on Project Guardians. And you can also reach out to vagabondchopper.com and find us on the web. All right. We'll see you guys later. And don't forget, Two-Wheel Freedom. Much love. Thank you again, Paco. We love you.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was fun, but I tell you what, my poor husband, I tortured him with that video. I couldn't stop. First I was hangry, then I couldn't stop laughing, and I'm like, just don't stop. We'll cut it. And he goes, you can't say. I said something about, I don't know.
You're going to say it now?
It was to the gist of, how am I supposed to do this video with him standing there sexy and shirtless in front of me with a video camera? It was absolutely like so distracting. And so then I started cracking up laughing, and he's like, okay, just giggle for a few minutes. Let's get it over with. So,
well, we have a really cool guest.
We
tonight.
do.
I know. And I'm hoping, I mean, I just like shared a couple things about him, but anyway, Rob Bluma from Custom Dynamics,
Yes,
lives just down the road from me, and I think we should bring him in here and find out more about.
Yeah, because he's got a lot going on there.
Hey, Rob. Good evening, ladies.
Hi.
I was going to be sexy and shirtless, but it's in Wisconsin. It's like 25 degrees right now, so I don't think anybody wants to see. It's freezing here. Yeah, it was flurrying yesterday. So, yeah, welcome to Wisconsin. It'll be 90 by the weekend. So,
wow.
But thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
I was just having a conversation about you earlier. I think it was yesterday. A really good friend of ours, she wanted to eliminate some stuff on her motorcycle because she put new saddlebags on, couldn't fit her turn signals anymore, and I had sent her the pictures of your fabulous taillight, the lay down taillight with the turn signals and the brake light in there. She was so ecstatic. She's like, I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, wait, we have the headlight trim to match too. Does the same thing. She's like, oh my God. So yeah.
You're hired. Let's go. Keep selling. I like it. We appreciate that. We appreciate it very much. We'll take all the business we can get. So
we appreciate you guys participating in our project here. And it's really cool because between all of us, we've been around a long time and we know a lot of the same people. I know we go back to the 90s, people that we've worked with, people that we've had the pleasure of being in business and having colleagues, and even all the way back to the good old days with the V-Twin Expo and stuff like that.
Yes, the Super Bowl of debauchery, the V-Twin Expo.
Yes,
I miss those days. Yes, before, it's funny, I joke with some of the younger people on my staff of life before the internet.
Yes.
And my first text, and they're like, what do you mean? And that we didn't even know what a text was. And
go
ahead.
My grandson, he must have been given a task from school to ask his grandparents about technology and what they knew about it. So he goes, oh, grandma, he said, tell me about the first time you experienced technology. And I started telling him about a black and white TV that was 8 inches wide, 8 by 8. And he goes, I mean, touch screen.
Wow. Yeah.
That's when you have to sit him down and tell him, listen, I was the remote control. What do you mean? I was the remote control. My grandson's like, what do you mean, Mimi? I'm like, no, my dad wanted to change the channel. You had 3 channels. And then if you were lucky, you could put the aluminum foil on the antenna and get a couple UHF channels. And he's looking at me like I got 4 eyes. And I'm like, listen, Google it. And he's like, he looked right at me and he goes, I don't want to Google it. I'm like, why? He goes, Google doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, okay, what do you like? And he's like, anything to learn about hunting, and how I can feed the deer so that I can shoot them, so that I can eat them. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you're a dinosaur, child. You're a dinosaur. I love you. Stay that way. Be perfect.
Yes, please. We need more of them.
Yeah,
yes.
And I love it when I tell them, it all started. The lady was on the phone, had a thing in her ear, would talk into a phone, and a lady on the other side would pull a cord out and plug you in. And he's like, what? I'm like, oh yeah. And so of course I had to use the internet to pull it up and show him. And he's like, were you alive then? I'm like, no. I'm like, but my grandma was alive. She used to do that. And he was just like, then he wanted to know more. And then I was telling him about the rotary phone, and then the push button, and then the cord got longer across the kitchen where you could go all the way across. That was technology for us. And then a remote
call waiting. When you first got call waiting, it was like, yes,
so
get two calls at once.
That's funny. But I tell you what, motorcycles have come a long way, the same way, the evolution of what's gone on in our project here too. We're going to showcase where we come from, where we are now, and inspire those to continue on with what we're doing, not just go to the technology side of it, but appreciate the handcrafted and the things that go into it, and adding the technology, like updating the parts, like with your parts from Custom Dynamics. I mean, it's super crazy how we can make the simplest old school thing updated and have such a cool look, and eliminate some of the things, still be seen, still be legal, and enjoy what we're doing. And it all comes from, a good idea where somebody's like, oh, I don't have room for that. What do I do? And then like your company comes in and they do, listen, I'm all excited about putting your parts on.
Good. We're excited to be working with you. It's funny you talk, again, being a dinosaur, I've been doing this my whole adult life. Mm-hmm. My running joke is this was never a career day.
Right.
When I was in high school, I'm going to be in the V-twin motorcycle industry for the next 33 years. Okay, sure. Yeah, that didn't happen. But no, and, I can appreciate today's technology, I guess. Well, I'm in my shop with my dinosaurs around me. So I have a lot of love for carburetors. So
as do I.
But I think the mix of both, and, what we do at CD is, I say this all the time. We don't chase trends. We try to, give the customer what they want. It takes us a long time to develop parts just because we like to be right. Believe it or not, we have a ton of requests for halogen, like old halogen bulbs that you would have ran in, your 90s Springer or something like that are LEDs. So you never know. We're always evolving. So.
And it is leading the industry, in lighting in general with motorcycles.
Yeah, we like to think that, it's different from us than a lot of companies. And I think you guys and your, viewers will appreciate this. We are a motorcycle lighting company. We are not a car lighting company that says, hey, we're going to bolt something to a motorcycle. We build lights for motorcycles.
Yes.
Do some of them work on cars by coincidence? Absolutely. But everything is designed motorcycle first. And then if it happens to work on your truck, or if it happens to work on your side-by-side, that's all gravy. But it's always, and to be honest with you, our 98% of what we do is Harley Davidson. Right. So I think we have 10 bikes in the stable, 9 are Harleys, 1's an Indian. We're constantly evolving. We work with a lot of good dealers out there that help us. A couple local Suburban House of Harley are close to where I live. So I always, go over there and snoop around. And then
that's Suburban. We love Suburban for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I worked there for 14 years. So I have a lot of love for those guys. And, we have Tobacco Road in North Carolina, because Custom Dynamics is based out of North Carolina.
Okay,
and Vicki, you said something that's sort of funny. So we are, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinions, the biggest lighting company in V-twin. And what a lot of people don't know, and it's funny, I don't get into social media a lot, but sometimes I read comments and, oh, you guys are so big and you do that and this. We have 29 people that work at Custom Dynamics.
Right.
Most people think that it's, you're this.
Nope.
And the thing, for V-twin, you talked about Paco. Paco's been around, since Jesus had sandals on. Yeah. So, and I can't imagine they have more than 25 people working there and fueling. And, S&S is a little bit bigger because they're a manufacturer. But, a lot of these companies, a lot of,
even S&S, everything is locally sourced.
Yeah.
It's big, but it's little, and it's very unique and very intimate.
And it's funny,
that's something that I noticed right away when we started talking with Custom Dynamics, is that that is your MO, is like that personal connection that you have to provide not only the best stuff, but also develop. You were talking about developing things, and you develop all your own products and make them in the USA.
Right.
So that is like.
So let me correct you real quick. So we design. This is a big misconception on LEDs. So you cannot get an LED light in the United States, unfortunately. Right. So, but everything else we design and all that is done right here.
Yeah. And it's cool.
So I was like
put together and made here. Yeah.
And what's really cool about your company too is the fact that it takes quite some time to develop the prototype and then put it to market and all that stuff. But that's because you take pride in what you do.
3 years.
That's what matters.
3 years.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks that, I want this light. Can I get it tomorrow? We do a lot of different things, but it takes 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, here's a little project. For those of you that have old Softails, hold on a second.
We have some of those here.
Do you know what a TSM is?
Yes.
So this little...
That's the Antichrist thing.
Well, we developed one because Harley discontinued it. And so if you guys didn't know that, because, for doing this as long as I have...
Right.
I joked that the FXR, which hasn't been built since 2001... is making yet its 15th comeback.
Right.
The problem is, the good news for people like us is these bikes never leave the road. Yeah. The bad news is
everything's obsolete.
Everything's going obsolete. Yeah. So part of our business, we started looking at this and we thought, this is super simple until you figure out what it actually does.
Right.
That it triggers your fuel injection, that it does everything.
Right. Oh yeah, it'll lock you out. That should have locked you out. That's
and there's no way around it. It's not like, I'll pull it out and I'll throw a carburetor on. That doesn't work.
No, my husband. So, well, I mean, it can be done, but it ain't just a slap it on kind of thing. That's where custom really comes in. But I can't tell you the number of times my husband's like, shit's obsolete. We're becoming more and more obsolete, and I'm like, and then he sees products again like that come out, super excited him. It lights a little bit of a fire back in our spirit because we're not the dinosaurs. We're not obsolete. It's just that those around us have to go ahead and make great strides to make sure that we still have what we need to keep going and keep these machines alive. Like my shovel head, you're sure it's a 78 shovel head, but I have dual disc front end. I got Road King lower legs. I have parts from all different generations, but I've upgraded it so that, it stops on a dime and gives 9 cents change back. Not like the old banana calipers where you went sliding through the intersection because you were going too fast and there's no brakes, So it's that same, we evolve,
right.
and things keep evolving. So kudos to you guys because, again, electrical is the hardest thing and people don't understand. They don't understand, especially like now. So it's gotten so difficult, and people don't understand CAN bus and clean grounds and things of that nature. And it's so hard to see them struggle with it because they don't understand it because it's so new technology. But then once they get the concept of it, especially if they've been working on bikes forever, they get it, but it's still, it's that evolution. You got to come into the new age. And that's cool that you guys got something that you're finally replacing obsolete parts because we love that. That's why we love being a dealer for you guys too.
Well, part of, we talk about, the future and stuff like that. And what I see in this industry, and I hope I'm right, is you've got people with money and they could go buy the CVO that's 60 grand and that's great.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But how do you get, you were talking about, I think it was your grandson, you said?
Yeah.
That's a hunter. How do we get that person on a motorcycle, especially a Harley Davidson?
Oh yeah.
They're not going to go spend $15, $20, $30, $60,000. But what they can do? They can spend $5,000 on Marketplace and buy a Dyna. They can spend $5,000 and buy an old Softail. And, I was told the best, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that's what we all did.
Right. And I'm hoping this generation will do it.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your thought.
No, you're good. But what I was going to say about that, so when I started selling Harleys, there's a mentor of mine named Russ Maycock. And if you ever similar, and actually, Vicki, your husband might know him because Russ was around for a long time. And he was the guy that if you Googled Harley rider, that was him, beard, ponytail, slick back. He taught me two valuable things, and Harley broke rule number one. So the first thing he taught me is what a bagger was. So they've now broke that rule. A bagger had a radio and a cigarette lighter.
Yep.
So obviously they don't have cigarette lighters anymore. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. Yes, to qualify as a bagger, you had to have a radio and a cigarette lighter. The next thing, so I started selling Harleys when I came from a place called Donna Roy's, which was forever and a day a metric shop. So I've been in motorcycles since basically I was 20 years old, and went to Suburban on a whim. And I didn't get it. I'm 25 years old coming off a Jap sport bike. I'm like living in Milwaukee. I was bartending and bouncing at the time. And I didn't understand at that time, people were losing their minds to get a Harley. We're talking a used one was $4,000 more than a new one.
Oh yeah.
And that's how nuts it was. And I remember my third day, I said to Russ, and I just sat down, I'm like, explain to me why people are losing, they're dinosaurs. They're not fast. They don't stop. They look cool. Great. And he used a car analogy. And I think this holds true today. And especially with the project you guys are doing. He's like, where else on the planet can you go in and buy a new 57 Chevy off the floor and make it your own? And that has stuck with me, since 1997. And, what your project is doing is basically echoing that.
Yeah.
Starting with the frame, having your own design. I always say Harley Davidson all gives us great templates, but none of them are the same. It's pretty rare unless you're on the Black Street Glide. No offense to Black Street Glide people. I'm just making fun of them.
Right. Well, it is that thing too, where, you go out and there's 40 road glides. They're all black and they got to click the clicker to see which one's theirs because they're all parked there, and it's unfortunate that the oversaturation happened like that. But also, I think that it'll scale back. I truly do, because again, you can only oversaturate, but it also opened the door to companies like yours with the technology, because a lot of people they're ready to try something new. Okay, I got the same thing. Let's try something new. So, and again, your products, you can eliminate so much stuff and not really mess up. You don't have to chop wires. You don't have to cut stuff up. You got plug and play. You got, things are pinned, Dooch connectors, real stuff. Right.
When I saw that last year, I was out in Mitchell, South Dakota.
Okay.
I was, and Clockworks was doing their Thursday party, and there were a bunch of bikes there that had that headlight on it. I'm like, what is that? I haven't seen that before. So I don't know when you put that out, but that was when I first saw it.
So gosh, I think we're in our third season of it. It's a style. So it's funny, and Harley, like I said, has a great platform. And what we do, and what a lot of companies do in the aftermarket, is people demand something different.
Right.
Okay. It's no different than when you go get your coffee and you add whatever custom. They get their black road glide, as you mentioned, and all of a sudden they want the front end to look different.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they want better lighting because they live out in a Economwalk and they don't want to hit a deer.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in. And so, for example, on the light, it started off as styling. Okay. People like that off-road styling. They didn't like the Cyclops look of the road glide. And it was, it had its run. And I'm going back to the last generation road glide,
right,
not the current one. So it started off there. And then Dave, who's our founder and our president, his background is electrical engineering. And it's, again, we talk about, it's interesting, his roots. And so Dave was an engineer for Philips and for IBM.
Nice.
And he was a Harley guy. And this goes back, 25 years, back when everybody used to put accent lights underneath, their bike.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't, as an engineer, he didn't like how they did it. Yeah. So he's like, you know what? I think I could do this better, and started Custom Dynamics out of his attic. And then next thing you know, he got a little, what was it, 8x12 trailer, doing weekend shows. And then at one point, he's like, I'm going to quit, my white collar job, and I'm going to jump into this with both feet. And, here we are 25 years later.
So glad he did. Boy, howdy.
And his biggest thing is quality. We do not, it's our, this is his name. And we stand behind everything we do. And that's why we give, lifetime warranty on all our LEDs. We were the first ones to do that. This headlight, it's interesting because you do see a lot of them now. Little fun fact, we've never had one for warranty. We're very proud of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
very cool.
That's
you always expect 1%. Yeah.
Right.
So,
well, one of the people listening right now, Bill Philipstick, he's, I think he's got a ton of your lighting on his bike.
Well, thank you, Bill.
Yeah, he works for Road Guardians. He's jumped in. He also works for Wounded Warrior Project. So he does a lot of really cool things. But he was telling me he's got a bunch of your lighting. So,
well, we appreciate it. It's funny because, again, we've been doing this for so long that we were just at Daytona, and I'm still amazed. And maybe this is a good thing. I'll tell you a little Terry Vance story from Vance and Hines.
We love Terry.
So Terry Vance, dear friend, I worked at Drake Specialties for a long time after I worked at Suburban. And, Vance and Hines for a minute there was the Kleenex of exhaust.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember talking to Terry, and I'm like, man, you see Vance and Hines everywhere. You should be so excited. And Terry's like, yeah, sort of. And it's like anything. When you see it all the time and everybody knows you, it loses that luster.
Yeah.
So as much as we want everyone to have custom dynamics, and they should, because it just makes you cooler and sexier, almost like you had your shirt off. The reality is, even after 25 years, people still don't know who we are, which is sort of funny to me. But again, I'm jaded because I've been doing this my whole life.
Right.
I guess my excitement in that is maybe there's that many people that are new to this. And again, this is obviously where, you guys come in too, because when you're new to this and you don't know, and, technology is so advanced now from when, I started riding. You talked about hitting the brakes and running through an intersection. That was normal.
Yeah.
Now you hit the brakes and you're worried about flying over the front.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
It's just, helmets were never cool.
No.
I'm looking right now. I have 5 helmets just in my shop, not including the other 5 I have in my office. And I didn't start, I'm 50, what am I now, 54? I didn't start wearing a helmet till like 6 years ago because people are nuts on their phones. But yeah, we never wore helmets in the 90s. Your bandana and sunglasses were your helmets.
Here in Florida, we had all through the 80s, we had to wear helmets.
I remember the helmet law for Bike Week.
Like literally, I have my first beanie helmet that Frenchie made, and like I had Crazy Owls wanted to sponsor me with a new beanie helmet, and there's no lining left in it. I wear my hat backwards, got a million stickers, and I mean it's definitely, and I wear it because, well, I've had whoop-de-doos, and I was grateful that I had that, but it's like, yeah, I see some of these kids, they got the full face helmets, they got all this stuff, and I'm just like, it's so different for us. But like what you said with the technology, with the people, there's, again, it's an influx of people that have come into the riding scene, which is cool. And that's why, like, shops like ours, we do our best to always promote the quality products. People who take pride in what they do, have good warranties, know that, because we don't always know who's going to have their hands in it after us. That's the key. So the easier it is for them to service it, take it apart, change things, whatever it is they need to do. And you take it's great quality. You take great pride in what you do. We love that. And that's why I just got a kick out of Boots saying to me, she's like, well, I've never seen that. And I was like, I had to think about it. And I was like, up until a few years ago, I never even knew that existed. And like with our project, what we're doing, everybody expected me to do a chopper, you know what I mean? Or a chopper style thing. And so our title sponsor, Larson Law, Glen, it's a law group. We want to make sure that it has turn signals. It has the things that it needs in it, and it passes its inspection for, being titled and all those things like that. So that was like exactly, it worked out good because you guys are working with Miss Vicki through the Road Guardians, and then that you were already on my build sheet, and I was just like, this is awesome, because like I already have my parts and I already got this stuff picked out.
It's great to have somebody like, say, hey, what do you need? And
right.
Hey, it's not just they're not just providing. I'm not going to just say you, because I think it's, your whole team, but not just providing.
Absolutely.
Just a couple lights for the bike. You're doing, there we go. There's the team.
Love it.
Like, is that a cool looking team or what?
So Dave is the guy in front. He's the one that started all this.
I love those gold wheels.
Yeah. So, it's just super proud of everyone in that picture. Most of those people are still with us. The ones that aren't, there's just a couple. Well, one used to be a drag rep, and now he works for Figurati.
Nice.
And then, we're still friends with everyone. It's like anyone, they go different places in their career, but like Karen, who's been on the meetings, she's the one on the top right. She's the blonde. Lucia wasn't with us there. Here's a funny story about this photo shoot. So we needed a place to shoot, and we just grabbed a random warehouse thinking it was abandoned. Of course it wasn't.
Oh no.
So we're 20 minutes into, I have our photographer there. We have everything there, and they show up. So I have to turn on the charm. We threw them a couple T-shirts, and they're like, "Yeah, shoot us," because we were there for hours in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina.
That's funny.
And we're super proud of the people that work for us. And I say this all the time. I probably have it the easiest. It's the people in the warehouse. It's our design team. It's where, and I think you two will appreciate this. I don't know if Vicki, if I ever told you this, but we're a very woman-dominated company. So a lot of our leadership, is women. So Megan, our general manager, has been with Custom Dynamics for, I think, almost 20 years. She's a pistol. Awesome. We can't have her on things like this because she just, she's very politically incorrect. If she's hearing this, she's probably going to slap me.
That's perfect. I want to have her on my podcast then.
Yeah. She's a pistol. She's very Southern. And then we have Susie, who runs our warehouse and gets everything out to everybody. She's been at Custom Dynamics for over 10 years. Karen, who you met, who helps lead our marketing. She's been with Custom Dynamics for over 10 years. Erin, who does all our warranty. She's been with Custom Dynamics for over 10 years. So we are, we have in key positions, Dave and I are outnumbered quite a bit. So
I love it.
You have a video you were going to show us, right? And it's one of the chicks. It's one of the you're talking about all the
I don't know. We'll see which video we have here.
Yeah, let's roll a video.
Welcome to our site.
I like it.
Oh,
that's if it plays.
Lights, yeah.
Dynamics. Let me introduce you to another member of the Shark Demon family. Our new Shark Demon fog lamps are built to dominate any road. A gloss black aluminum housing delivers lightweight strength with a premium finish built to last. A durable polycarbonate lens shrugs off impacts and scratches in the harshest environments.
Nice.
Pushing over 4,000 raw lumens, these lights carve through the night with brilliant road-filling visibility. An adjustable beam lets you aim light exactly where you need it, vertically or horizontally. Choose daylight white for crisp clarity or selective yellow to cut through fog, rain, and snow with boosted contrast. SAE and ECE compliant, fully sealed with IP67. Installation is effortless with a plug-and-play wiring harness, and we offer a wide variety of mounting options. Check it out today at customdynamics.com.
Yes, we do. We offer everything. So that is a new release. We launched that really basically at Daytona. Mm-hmm. We sold out twice already. In my opinion, it's redefined the fog lamp market, and we haven't even had all the mounts. Those are just arriving as we speak. But yeah, we see things. Shark Demon's sort of a funny story why it's called that. I can tell you that. But do you want to know why it's called Shark Demon?
Yeah,
multi-million-dollar this season? Yeah. All right. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you think it's called Shark Demon? You're probably going to give the answer that most people do, but then I'll tell you the truth.
I'm a Florida girl. I'm afraid to say.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. If you guess this, I'll fall over.
Well, I don't know. I mean, personally, like, sharks hunt things and they go out and they eat stuff up. So I guess, it's probably pretty much the killer on the road. Like, it kills all.
I wish we were that smart. I really do. I wish we were that smart. So here we go. All right. True story. You'll see Megan's personality real quick, and you'll see basically how some of the important decisions happen at Custom Dynamics. So, Shark Demon's coming. We have to design a box, and we have to name this thing. So we have a naming meeting. It's Dave, Megan, and myself. They're in North Carolina. I'm in my office in Wisconsin. All right. What are we going to name this thing? We start throwing some stuff around. Dave, at that time, his Weinerheimer named Hope was maybe a year old, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But if you know anything about Weinerheimers, super hyper dogs.
Oh, yeah.
In Dave's office, there's also this reclining chair that Megan is sitting in. So Megan, because she loves animals and she gives people nicknames all the time, some of them are not appropriate for this. The dog jumps up on her and she's like, Shark Demon, get down. Because the puppy had such razor sharp teeth.
Yeah.
That she named it Shark Demon. So I say, ha, ha, ha. That's what we're going to name the headlights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
No joke. The next day, we all came into agreement. We're like, all right, we're going to name it Shark Demon. And our sales staff at the time hated us because they're like, nobody's going to buy into that. But, obviously it does make sense because, some of our early marketing, I'm a muscle car guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like when Dodge launched the Demon, they had this big smoke and light was cutting through it. And that's sort of what I pictured in my head with the Demon part of it. And obviously Shark with shark nose and everything like that. And it's really taken a life of its own. And it's something we're super proud of. But yes, it was named after, we love dogs and animals. So all your people that are subscribing in, hopefully you do too. And so it's actually one of my favorite parts of the whole line is so when I see Dave's dog when I go into the office, he calls his dog Hope. The rest of the planet calls it Shark Demon.
That's so cool. It's almost like a Doobie Brothers story, how they got their name. I'll have to tell you one day. I'll have Pat tell you.
I met the Doobie Brothers or Michael McDonald at the Harley 100th. There's a funny story.
Yeah. So Chris Summer Simmons is our sister from another mister. Okay. Cotter Pins Forever. Yay! And
hold on a second. What is with Cotter Pins Forever? I'm sure I have one in my toolbox here. What's with Cotter Pins? It's a very large one on top of it.
So it's Cotter Pins. It's Cotter Pins, and it's SFL #515 because that's the part number, and it's SFL for Sisters for Life, and it's our own little thing that we have that
it's if unbreakable. Our chain is unbreakable.
Yeah, and when it's used correctly, it makes the shape of a flower, so you can't lose there. You know what I mean? So
you can't be a cotter pin. Sorry, Rob.
I'm so disappointed right now.
It's a thing.
The only reason I came out here is become a cotter pin.
Yeah.
My husband, and it's him and his brilliant ideas that ended up, we just are cotter pins. It's a thing. And we'll tell you one day.
It's sort of like how the hamsters started. Next thing you know, the cotter pins, the hamsters, you guys are all related.
We'll never wear gold shirts. I promise you that. I love them all dearly, but no school bus yellow, no gold, no. Yeah.
All right.
And no neon pink. We're not doing neon pink ever.
All right. How many members of the cotter pins are there?
We can't tell.
Oh, I like it. Secret society.
Yes.
Secret handshake. I like it.
It's
that.
Matching
tattoos.
It's like my secret society chain gang.
Right. Nice.
We don't want you to yank my chains, so.
And I have my cotter pin right there.
Nice. Look at you. You're a lifer. I like it.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Cotter pin in, cotter pin out. I like it. That's
yep. You got to be multifaceted.
What do you ride? What do you?
So I have a 09 Screaming Eagle Road Glide. There I am. Oh my God, there I am in Daytona. So if you want to take a CVO and tear it all apart and make it your own, I am your person. So I've had that bike. I've redone that bike 4 different times. I always say that, I'll get rid of it. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
I am actually probably, unless my friend Nick Trask talks me into putting a turbo on it, I'm not doing anything more to that bike.
Jess just put one on her bike, her new bike, but oh my God, those things are sexy as hell.
Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, I wish I rode more than I did.
I like my driver's license.
I'm 150 horse without a turbo, so yeah. It's so that's my crew in Daytona there. So I think Paul's next to me, and then I got Mark and Greg behind me. So those guys busted their ass in Daytona. I think we
now
did
when you go, where do you set up in Daytona when you go?
We set up at right at the dealership. You can't miss us. We're
at Teddy Moore's.
Yeah, right at Teddy Moore's.
Perfect.
So, but we're very fortunate as a company. There's a lot of people in Daytona and around the country that sell Custom Dynamics. You know, Rick Rack, Fairing Exchange, just name it. Obviously J&P, they all sell our stuff. So we thank all of them, all the local dealers, you guys. You know, Custom Dynamics is not Custom Dynamics without the dealer network, because, you know, the reality is none of us are going to be able to get that kind of bandwidth. And our best advertising, our best salespeople are you guys. So we thank you very much.
We're honored to actually have the opportunity to work with such a stellar company that takes pride in what they do, actually, you know, cares about the components, the community, all of it. Because again, as much as you care about your components and what you're putting out there, you also care about the community, because look at, you're participating with what we're doing. And I'm sure there's lots of other stuff that you guys participate with. And that just shows up and speaks volumes to the fact that you are part of the community and that you support us and lift us all up any chance you get. And that's all we can do for one another in our little motorcycle world, you know, as big as it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's also small, right? You know, we were talking about this before, just some of the same people we know. And you know, I've been very blessed to be in this and call it my career. And most of my friends now are in this industry. And, you know, it's an interesting sense of pride. And, you know, I think all of us are very lucky, you know, and I think all of us have that experience. And for those of you that are out there that aren't in this industry, stay away. You don't want to do this. No, I'm just kidding.
If you want to work if you want to make a small fortune in the motorcycle industry, you start with a very, 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 very big one. That's it.
Yes. Nobody gets rich in this. Yeah. No. Yeah.
My husband was laughing I just told him today, I said, babe, I said, you know what? I said, I'm open to it. We're going to relocate out of South Florida because it's gotten out of hand. But I told him, I said, you know, we're going to have our shop. I said, I'm open a little restaurant. He looked at me and said, what? And I'm like, well, you could just put people in there. Like, you can't, it's just him and I in the shop, because again, it's the pride factor. It's caring. It's giving a shit about what you put out the door. And here it's so transient. It's difficult to find anybody who cares. Somebody without bad habits. They already know it all, you know, whatever. And there's always a scenario. And every once in a while you could find a piece of gold and, you know, all the mayhem of it. But I told him, I said, in a restaurant, you know, you make your restaurant what it is. You go there, here and there. You have people that run it. It's easy to get people to run a restaurant. It's not easy to find somebody that can build bikes with you and do what you do to the quality that you do. I don't put out a lot of bikes. What I do is I take a lot of time for the bikes that I build, because at the end, the result is what matters. And it's not really for anybody else besides us. Of course, you know, the customers benefit, the projects that we do benefit, but more than anything, it's for us, because we love what we do. We love to make it show. We love everybody. We love to, Jeffrey Phipps is doing our seat. And he always asks me, he's like, every time you build a bike and you show it, he's like, how come my seat is always on the ground next to it on a nice little piece of carpet? And I'm like, because I don't hide my sins under the seat. I want you to see my wiring. I want you to see what it looks like under there. And then you can see how beautiful the seat is. It's not on the bike. The bike's not distracting from it. He laughs, you know, he's like, I love you, you know, it's its own piece of art. But I that for me is the thing. And for most of us that have been in it, like you and my husband and, you know, Dave and Miss Vicki and Tony, and it's the love of it. It's the passion that drives you. You know what I mean? When we get to be out there and see the joy. I love when you get somebody that hasn't been to Daytona or Sturgis, or they haven't been to TMMR or visited Milwaukee, the museum, and they just light up. And it's like, it's brilliant. And what it does is it drags you back to when you first got there, you know? And I know I don't get them very often, but I'll get that little bit of joy. And it's like, wow, I remember my first Daytona was 1982 Bike Week. And
we
it was
lived
crazy.
in that world, we lived in that world where you knew who was at that restaurant or bar or just by what they rode, like you.
Absolutely.
Customizing was where it's at. And I think that's why we are so fortunate to be able to have all the people that are coming together to make this like super special.
It's going to be fabulous.
Thank you again for picking that up. And
no, it's really our pleasure. And, thanks for allowing us to, because, it's just, we're very selective on stuff we do. And that I just, your cause is
cool,
great.
I'll say that. We're doing something else cool. With you in May. This is the reason that you in the first place.
Yes.
So with May being Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month, we're doing a giveaway of a trauma pack and one of your strobes for like a
how cool
for a little.
I might have one here somewhere.
And so a trauma pack with a tourniquet, and we're going to be doing a campaign with several different releases, that we're doing through the month of May. So with Custom Dynamics and Road Guardians with safety and awareness. So anyway, super excited about that. I'm not sure if Aaron can, pull up the picture of people.
Fabulous. I'm excited.
Well, I'll say this, and I got to credit Lucia on my team for bringing Road Guardians to us. And unfortunately, the good and the bad of doing this so long is we've all lost people. And, and for what you guys do, and you should be applauded, because
every day,
it's just, you know what I mean? It's just, and hopefully in May, and it shouldn't just be May, right? It should be all year long, that people put their phones down when they're driving. They turn their stereos down, they pay attention and know that, hey, this is someone's life, and this is someone's husband or wife or daughter or son. And just pay attention, because we don't want to lose this sport, right? And for me, the most zen I get out of life is probably when I hop on my bike and just cruise and do nothing. I mean, I get people are spiritual and they go to church and they can do that. People go on runs, which I never understood. But, when I get on my motorcycle, it's
as close as you can get.
Yeah. It's, and I just hope that the awareness you guys bring every day, and that we can contribute to that, because it does mean a lot. And again, Lucia on my team, when she brought this to me, and then I saw Vicki's name, I'm like, wait a second, they're local. She's like, what do you mean they're local? I'm like, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're locals. And so, we're just happy to be, partnered up with such a good cause that we believe in. And, awareness, anything we can do to keep more people on the road safe, because the more they do this, the more the sport's going to grow. And that's all we want. I don't want to ever go to Sturgis or Daytona or anywhere else and see, 100 people there. I love that there's 300,000 people or 400,000 people. So,
yeah, Lacey Parson is listening in. She's the manager of the Sturgis Museum. She's going to be taking my class on Sunday. I'm going to be out in Rapid City doing an advanced class. I'm going to be at Clockworks in 2 days. Staying there overnight on Thursday.
Good old Mitchell.
Yep.
Your choice of one of two hotels.
Yep.
I don't need that. I've got my RV, so he's
there you go.
Right there at the
up in Brian's backyard. That's right.
Brian's backyard. So we're having breakfast together on Friday.
Nice.
And, so
I'll be at the Sturgis breakfast again this year. So
great. We'll be there.
Yes.
Fabulous.
So another friend of mine is getting inducted, so I'm very proud of those people that I know that have been inducted. So congratulations to them.
Ready to show us all the people that, not all, but like our big sponsor sheet that we have that keeps growing, and
you got a lot of good people on there. There's a lot of good people on there.
And our painter, Custom Paints, is donating the paint for him.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing. And we're just so proud of the partnerships that we're developing, and Glen Larson Law in particular has, without his
I like the logo.
Stepping up, isn't that cool? Wolfpack, Biker Wolfpack Law. He's from Texas, but he's like, you know what? I just love all this. I love the creativity, and I'm in. Just
very cool.
Tell me what I can do and tell me where to be. And so very, very cool guy, and we're happy to be working with him, and so many other people that are on here. You're hitting this legendary section easy. So your name's going to go on a plaque that we're donating to the museum with all of our legendary partners who are part of the Project Guardians, and people can get involved in many different ways. So keep bringing it up, you guys. I mean, just going to visit Fault Line Customs, they're like, hey, could you use foot pegs? I mean, that's what we love, the community.
Yeah, I got a whole list, 25 pages of stuff. We're just plugging away.
So go to our website. All of these things are on our website, ways that you can support us and be a part of history as we build this bike and record this story as the bike is being built. So
I think it's super cool. And you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, are you debuting the bike at the museum, or how's that working?
We don't know where it's going to be debuted yet, because we need to get a little further into the project to know that for sure.
We have pressure. No pressure.
No, but it's gonna make a trip. One of the things that we wanted was enough time between the bike build and the actual drawing, so we could take the bike to different events. And we weren't able to make it for Thunder Beach this year, but we are absolutely, Tommy, going to have that bike at Thunder Beach next year. I can guarantee you that.
Nice. And we have so many people involved that really have a very cool artistic input and pieces that they're making, handmade, handcrafted stuff as well. So, and then the painter, we don't want to rush anything. We want it to come organically. So we want to make sure that, we get it done and we get it to them, and we get a chance to, again, dot our I's, cross our T's. We have to
shake her down.
Yeah, we got to put a few miles on it, so that we know that when it goes on tour, Vicki's going to ride it. We're going to ride. We're going to ride a little bit. And then the person who wins it, they just get on it. And if they're in Sturgis and they already have a bike there, they can send theirs home and ride it all the way home. That's my goal. So it doesn't matter where they live.
So anyway, you'll get to see it, Rob, because it's going to be hanging out at my house for a bit too. So
very excited.
Without a doubt.
We might come park it at your booth in Daytona too. You never know.
Yeah.
You are more than welcome to. I'll
yeah.
tell you that right now. You are more than welcome to.
We appreciate that. And I look forward
to it. We are front and center. So you want a front and center spot, you can't miss it. We are
right.
We're very thankful to the crew there.
Mm-hmm. Ready to start. We'll be selling raffle tickets in February of next year. So then we're going to be hitting it hard. So that very likely will be when we debut. So
are you just selling hard tickets, or are they going to be online as well?
All online.
All
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because of South Dakota rules, you have to buy them in South Dakota. So, so that's the way to do it, is you buy them in South Dakota online. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right. Make it happen. Yep. Thank you so much. And please thank Dave and the crew and everybody.
I will.
Then go in and tell them girls rock. Tell them I said girls rock.
Oh, they know it. They tell us every day.
Chicks rule and boys drool. That was a tour I did for a hot minute in 2008 or 2010. It was pretty funny. But yes, we love lifting each other up, and it doesn't matter. It's all for the passion of the motorcycles. But again, we can't thank you enough. And once I get all my little details, because I know I have most of my list, and when I got all my little details, we'll do a nice unboxing video. And we'll just keep plugging along, and haha, you got that pun, plugging along.
Absolutely. My team is here to help. And again, I want to thank you guys because, what you do, not just, obviously this is great for Custom Dynamics, but your real mission of helping people, that's really what this is about. Mm-hmm. And that's why, we're participating, to be honest with you. It's, we like the cause, the more people we can keep alive is really the goal.
Right.
And, Safety.
And the music is cool. You know,
sometimes safety isn't sexy, but we think we can do both. So
yeah, it is. Don't let them kid you. The way you're doing it, it sure as hell is. I'm okay with that.
It's like shirtless filming you. I know it's that kind of sexy.
Oh my
right?
God, it's still torturing me. I'm like, we haven't etten dinner yet, and I don't think he's gonna get dinner tonight. We're just gonna have to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the second part of the show. I will not participate in this.
No, it's not for filming, definitely. You guys got me. Iron on me.
We're going to wrap this up, but we have we're going to be taking a break next week. I'm going to be out in Rapid City, and I'm teaching paramedics on Tuesday, and
I'll be unboxing more
time. Yeah, so we're taking a break next week. Probably looking at running things every other week, but you know, we're loosey goosey. Like if we got so much stuff to say, we'll let you know. So thank you for participating, everyone, and Rob for coming on and visiting with us.
I appreciate it, ladies. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right.
See y'all.